What's up, guys? Welcome to another GTA video. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the upcoming DLC for Xbox, or PS4, PC on GTA Online. Now, a few days ago, I want to say about 4 or 5, Rockstar released on their newswire that GTA Online would be receiving a DLC called Lowrider on October 20th, which is tomorrow, a Tuesday, and I am so hyped about this DLC. We have been waiting for Rockstar to throw out something this big for a long time, and they finally have. In my personal opinion, this is going to be the biggest DLC since Heists.
We're here to help. I think we can handle
Since
that.
Heist. That is my opinion. Now, I know some of you might disagree. Some of you might say, hey, Ill-Gotten Gains was better than Heist. And, you know, maybe you're right. I like Ill-Gotten Gains, but it was way too overpriced. I couldn't afford everything. I still have a lot of money. I mean, I had $3 million. Or 3.5 million, which is a lot compared to a lot of other people. But, you know, that, I couldn't afford everything, and at the time, I had like 10 million. And, you know, that's, if I were to buy that one gold plane, which I personally thought was ridiculous for $10 million, I would have, you know, burned a hole through my entire, you know, bank account. And I'm glad that the Rockstar has taken a step back from doing really overpriced DLCs to something a little bit more reasonable, which is what I think this. But anyway, before I get into all that, let's just start out with the basics of the Lowrider DLC. So let's get started. So like I said a few days ago, Rockstar announced that they will be releasing this Lowrider DLC.
Good choice.
They didn't announce a whole lot about it until later on, but they did announce some things. So what they announced was that there was going to be a new mod shop, a new body shop called Benny's Mod Shop or Car Shop or something like that. Is Benny's something? I don't know exactly what it is, but it's Benny's something. And anyway, they announced that there was going to be 6 customizable cars, hydraulics, interior editing, like leather coloring, the leather seats, changing the color of the dials, and just different things like that. They also announced that they would be releasing 2 new weapons. Those weapons being a machine pistol and a machete. They also said that there was going to be a few new missions for Lamar, as well as 2 new adversary missions. So let's break all of that down. Let's start with the mod shop. Now the mod shop is going to be in the downtown area, if you will, of Strawberry, which, if you're looking at my gameplay, is kind of the area that I'm headed towards. I don't know exactly where it's going to be. I have an assumption and I guess as to where it's going to be. Something tells me it's going to be somewhere in this area that you can see on my screen, somewhere down in here, where all these garages and stuff pop up, all of this, somewhere down in here. Maybe even all of this. I know this is Lester's, this right here is Lester's warehouse, so it won't be that. But I think it's going to be somewhere in this area. There's a Los Santos Customs. I wouldn't think it would be near Los Santos Customs. I would think it would be a little bit further away, making it harder for us to get to it, and get back and forth between LS and Benny's Mod. But it's going to be somewhere in that area. That is what they said. So they actually said on Strawberry Avenue, which I believe was the street I was just on. I can't remember, but It doesn't matter. So that's gonna be cool. Now, obviously, considering that Rockstar is putting so much work into this and adding in this brand new mod shop, I can already tell you that the mods are going to be expensive. Based on a prediction by Mr. Boss for the win, he assumes that it's going to be about $2 million for everything. Now that isn't a whole lot compared to some of the other DLCs that we've had, like the High Life, obviously Ill-Gotten Gains 1 and 2. All of those were really, really expensive DLCs. So $2 million compared to that is really, in all honesty, nothing. But that is the presumption, or assumption, sorry, that that Mr. Boss for the win has said. And personally, I agree with him to an extent, and then I disagree with him to another extent. And I'll get to that here in a second. But basically what he said was that the cars themselves, the customizable cars, were not going to be extremely expensive. And I kind of agree with that. But that where that Rockstar was going to really kill you with money was going to be when it came to the actual modifications, like the hydraulics, the colors, the paints, the interiors, the shifters, the steering wheel, all of that. All of the stuff that's going to change the look of your car, and the hydraulics and the engine and the different colored filters and so all of that. That is where you're going to lose the most amount of money. And that I completely agree with.
I don't believe it.
This is what I don't agree with. The $2 million part. Alright? Personally, I don't think that it's going to be as cheap as 2 mil. Personally, I think it's going to be closer to around 2.5 to 3 mil. And I'll tell you why. Rockstar has a pretty good history of quote-unquote burning a hole in your wallet. I mean, you've seen that with Ill-Gotten Gains, you've seen that with High Life, all of that. They have a good history of putting out really cool things that everyone wants and making them overpriced. And I agree with their logic on that, because if everything was cheap enough that everyone could buy it, that would remove all diversity in the game. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be fun at all. Everyone would have the same thing. What's the point? Why spend the money on it? Why waste your time and your money buying things when everyone else has it? There's nothing special about it. And the cool thing about this DLC is that there's going to be so many different options. Everything is going to be different. Nothing will be the same. All the cars, there's so many different color options, so many different things to put together. Everyone's going to have different tastes. And that's what I like about this DLC. And that's also why I think it's going to be more expensive than 2 mil. I think at the easiest, the hydraulics, 20,000 for the least amount of bounce, or the least amount of spring, and onward up to close to about 50 to 80,000. Now, which is, I know, is a big two. So that's kind of what I'm assuming, and that's my prediction as to how much this is going to really cost. You guys can fill in how you want to do it. See, the hard thing about making predictions about this DLC is that they're adding in a completely new shop. Now, I could almost 100% guarantee you, based off of the cars that they've said, and I'll get to what the cars are, because we know 5 confirmed, and then 1 are supposedly supposed to be a surprise. I would be able to tell you, based off of those cars, exactly or roughly how much it's going to cost, based off of past DLCs and the Los Santos custom shop. But since they're adding in a completely new shop, it's almost impossible to give you an exact number without just guessing. So that's kind of the mod shop. Now let's get on to the cars. Now, Rockstar has confirmed 5 cars. 5 cars that they know will be, that we know will be in this DLC. And then 1 that we assume, but we can't really tell from the pictures. And I'm gonna tell you guys those now. So let me run through the list. All right, the Albany Primo, the Vapid Chino, the Albany Buccaneer, let's see, that's 3. A GTA 4 car, I can't think of the name of it. I think it starts with like F. I think it's a Falcon or something like that. And then there was 1 other. If you guys will give me 1 second, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Let's see, I said the Vappuccino, the Albany Primo, the Albany Buccaneer, the GTA 4 car. I can't think of the last one. Sorry about that, guys. It'll come to me eventually, but off the top of my head, I can't think of it. So it'll probably come to me later, but anyway, we'll move on. Oh, and a clean version of the Voodoo. That's what it was. Sorry about that. So I'll run through that again because I know it took me a second to remember. It is the Vapid Chino, the Albany Primo, the Albany Buccaneer, a GTA 4 car, I believe the Falcon, I can't remember. I haven't played GTA 4 in a long time, and I don't remember all the names of the cars. I didn't commit them to memory. And the Voodoo, the clean version of the Voodoo. So those are your 5 confirmed, and then 1, the suspicion one. I can't remember exactly what he said he thought it was. I didn't think it was that though. Something like that. I honestly can't remember. I don't think that's really a Lowrider car though. More of a 1970 type of old style car. But anyway, those are gonna be the confirmed cars. And so just off of that, you can already say, you can already know off the top of your head that, alright, Buccaneer, not that expensive. The Primo, not that expensive. Chino, well that right there is $250,000. So that's probably going to be the most expensive. We don't know about the Voodoo. I know that the rusty version of the Voodoo, if you sell it, is like 10,000 or something like that, something along the line, like 10,000, which means that the car itself would be like 20,000. Because typically when you sell things in the Los Santos Customs, you sell it for half of what you paid for it, plus all the upgrades. That's why if you add more upgrades, it adds the price up, and then they cut that in half. Same thing with apartments. When you sell your apartment, you get half of what you paid for it. For those of you who don't know. But so the clean Voodoo, that's gonna be, I don't really know because it's gonna be a clean version. Typically the clean version's a tad bit more expensive. I'm gonna just say around 20,000. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, you have to, the cars themselves, I don't think like Mr. Boss said, I don't think they're going to be very expensive. I think um, the upgrades or the mods are going to be what really sucks. So. So, and then the last but not least, the weapons. Weapons were the last thing that Rockstar talked about, except for missions, and those are not really, I'll get to those, but that's not really something that you guys are going to pay for, that's something you're going to get paid to do. But, the general assumption about weapons is typically weapons are not that expensive. You can see, like, the most expensive weapon is the minigun. And all of the DLC weapons that they've added have been under, $20,000. So I would say that the machine pistol is probably going to run us about 10 to 15,000. Thousand. I don't know why I did that. And then the machete, upward from 8,000 on up to maybe 10,000 being absolute most expensive. That's just a general guess based off of some other DLC weapons that have come to play. So, I mean, yeah, somewhere in that range. I would assume. So now the last thing I wanted to talk about, and I know I'm kind of rambling on about this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get used to playing at the same time that I'm talking to you guys. So, like, I was trying to take out that other guy that you just saw me kill. And anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let me get to my final point. My final point, is about the missions. Now, there's a trailer that talks a little bit about the missions. So we know that the Lamar missions are going to primarily be gangbanging missions, where you're gonna go in and kill a bunch of gang members or kill a bunch of gang leaders and steal their lowriders. Because in the DLC he says this. I think it's I'm thinking word for word, but I'm not sure if it's actually word for word. He says a fool and his lowrider are soon separated. The Bala. So for those of you who don't know, there's three major gangs in the world of GTA. You have the Lagos, the Lost, and the Balas. The Balas are the ones in the purple. The Lagos are the ones in the green, and the Lost are the motorcycle gang, or the ones with the leather jackets in the black. So I'm assuming that it's primarily going to be focused on the Vagos and Balas, because the Vagos and Balas tend to be the ones with the lowrider vehicles. If you go into story mode, and I think you can even find them in online mode, if you drive down past where Franklin's garage is, in story mode, like his separated garage near his aunt's house, you drive up and down that street a couple times, you'll see vehicles like a tornado pop up, and it'll already have upgrades in it, like engine upgrades, special colors, stuff like that. So that's kind of who I would expect to have the lowriders. The Lost, they don't use lowriders. They primarily focused on slam vans and motorcycles. motorcycle gang. So that's kind of what the missions are going to be about. It's going to be about killing, gaming, and a bunch of gang members across Los Altos. So that's really it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I rambled on a little bit. My videos will get better over time. So, so yeah, that's really it. Like and subscribe. I'll be posting another free play video tomorrow, I believe. I'm gonna try to make a few today. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the one a day.